You're such an asshole.
Hey all, the old captain over at assholeconsulting.com, and I don't know what happened. Like, don't you guys, I thought people took off Thanksgiving weekend, and no they didn't. Everyone said, hey, let's contact the captain. Throw money at him. So he has no choice in the matter. Anyway, so a young man writes, hey bro, first off I want to thank you for advice on what to study. I now have a schedule set up for 2 days a week next semester, 4 classes, and I'll still be able to work in my family's hardware store 40 hours per week. Good. My next question to you is concerning how I should handle my money. Up until now, I've never questioned putting money into a 401k and life insurance, which my mom has made me do. I currently have about $15,000 in stocks handled by a broker my parents made good money with throughout the years. I also have about $10,000 in cash in a bank account. Ideally, I'd like to eventually get some real estate. I was wondering what you thought was my best way of handling the money I have and making going forward. Live with my parents so I don't have much to pay in bills. I asked him about the life insurance, like why is he paying in life insurance? He says, I don't know why she wants me to do it. She says it's for the future of the family. And I just didn't think deep about it when she got me into it, but now I've got my mind on money and time. I sent over 30 in 2 separate payments by accident, but my goals... Oh, payment. Okay, my goals are to own this store and be my own business owner or buy a 3-bedroom house so I can rent it out. Okay, well, if your goal is to own the store, you should learn some accounting. And if your goal is to own the store, then you probably don't need a degree at all. You don't need to go to college for anything. So, I mean, if you're going to take it over and it's a viable business, but that presupposes it's a profitable business that you'd want to take over, you can run efficiently, and you can actually make money. In which case, you can't do those 4 things, and fuck it. You need a backup plan and a plan B, which means maybe you should go to college. But working in banking and, heck, just watching all those great fucking shows where people fuck up their businesses and run them into the ground, the turnaround experts come, 80% of the time, it's because they didn't have an accounting system. So I would definitely start learning about accounting, because then if you decide not to take over this business, you decide not to take over this company, or you find out it's not making money, you didn't piss away your time in college, because you can go and work as an accountant. Ultimately, I want to have enough money to make the right investments with real estate, get my business where I don't need to be there all the time, or to be making money on it. I mean, goals to own the store, be my own business owner. Okay, I understand it'll take time and work, but in the meantime, I want to be as smart with my money as I can. If there's investments to make or not make, I want to have an understanding of the right path, where that would be investing in stocks or mutual funds or saving it, all as a down payment for my first house. Thanks again. And let me okay, so then the life insurance concerned me, and because you don't have any dependents. There's no reason for a young single man without children to have life insurance. Life insurance is in case you die and there's people depending upon you. And the only people that are depending upon you are your fucking folks. Which raises kind of a yellow, even an orange flag, where it's like, why the fuck is your mom insisting you have life insurance? And it could be because they're completely dependent and reliant upon you, helping them run that store. So I'm a little bit concerned that, not that they would, but they'd stab you, get insurance money. Well, why the fuck is it that they're making you get? They should have their own insurance plan. They should have their own contingency plans. It just seems odd and eerie that your folks are making you get life insurance when you don't need it. So I would stop that right now. You don't need that. That only pays off if you're dead, and you're so young that you're unlikely to die. And if you die, what the fuck do you care? Because you're dead. So there's that. But anyway, all right. Let's get back. Let's go. What to do with your money? All right. Right now, you don't have enough money to do anything with. You have a lot of money, but housing prices are getting so high that, especially depending on your area, that even having 25 grand is not a big deal. Now, where do you invest that money in the meantime was the old cap. Now, I've done this before. I've had a couple videos done about this. But since it's going to take a while for you to build up the money to put a down payment on the house, let alone build up enough money to buy your parents' company from them, because they don't sound like the nice type to just hand it over if they're making you get life insurance. There are some things that you can do in the meantime that everyone should do. Basic investments that you should have. that'll help you out down the road. So the first one is precious metals. Do you have your 200 ounces of silver? If you don't, go get yourself 200 ounces of silver, all right? Oh my gosh, what if the price of silver goes down? You're not fucking getting it for capital gains. You're not getting to make profit off of it. You're buying it as an insurance policy. After you do that, and what is it, $20 to $4,000? After you spend that money, you never have to worry about precious metals again. Do you have guns? I'm not talking a 600 gun collection. I'm talking a pistol and a hunting rifle. Do you have those? And do you have enough adequate ammunition? That would be another must-have that you should buy with your gun. And again, once you get those, you maintain them, you'll never need to buy those again. You might have to clean them every once in a while if you use them a lot. So there is that there. Oh, then what else? Then the next thing is your education, all right? Sounds like you're working and paying cash for it, like you're not even having to dip into debt. But if you have to take an extra class or maybe dip into your reserves, nothing wrong with paying for your education with it. That'll give you some skills. That'll give you the accounting skills as per topic right now. But if you want to go to a programming boot camp or go somewhere else that you would get some specialized training in, that is where your money should go. That will pay dividends in the future. It's not an insurance policy. It's not, oh my God, the economy collapsed, I need my guns and my silver. This is more like, oh, I'm an accountant, I can go work anywhere, whether my parents decide to sell me the house, or whether I have to go work on my own, or whether they kill me and collect the life insurance money. Then, and after all that, then is when, okay, now you start saving up the cash to put yourself a down payment on a home. Now, you being you're living at home. Do you mind living at home? Do your parents mind? I mean, like, is the goal to kick you out? Is like, hey, get out of here, son? Because, man, I'd stay living there as long as you can. Frankly, unless you want to start having a family or children, I'd be staying there as long as you can and just taking that freaking money, taking that free rent. So, what I'd be doing then is I'd be starting to throw your money toward saving up for a down payment on a house. Now, there's a couple ways you can do that. You could go ahead and invest the money in a bank account, just having it sit there for cash, and then people argue will eat away at inflation. Inflation will eat away at it. Oh my gosh, you want to invest in stocks and bonds, so why would you do that? So that's one way to do it, is just start throwing it into the bank. All of a sudden, you got 20% down payment for a home. Some bankers or mortgage brokers might be able to work with you so you only get a 5% down payment, so go talk to a mortgage broker. Maybe even start house hunting a little bit. But the larger point is you're going to save up the down payment for a small property that you can rent out if you're not there. Get a place maybe like 2 bedrooms, small house, condo, something that you can rent out, have buddies rent, subsidize your mortgage. You never want to pay for your own mortgage, especially when you're younger. Have somebody subsidize you. Get a roommate, get a tenant, somebody. You could do the investment property thing, but I'm really lukewarm to that. And again, it's a completely different topic as to whether or not you should even be buying rental property in your particular town. Because if you're in Chicago or Minneapolis or some leftist shithole, fuck that bullshit. You don't even want to deal with the legal problems of being a landlord. But if you have a roommate, you're not a landlord. They're living in your domicile, so you can kick people out. You got a lot more rights as someone who's living with you. But in any case, you're going to buy a small place, nothing fancy, enough that you knock out, again, going forward, you pay for it with as much cash as you can, pay off that mortgage as quickly as you can. Now you have lodging, everybody's single largest expense throughout their life, lodging. You have that taken care of. So that's a good thing there, too. But then there's going to be the argument, well, you could invest your money in stocks, or you can invest it in perhaps a Roth IRA. And I think they've made this available to 401ks and traditional IRAs and 401ks. But I know with the Roth IRA, you can withdraw your money for certain qualified expenses without incurring the fees, without incurring the penalties. And one of those that they allow is for the down payment on your first home. Okay, so if you're a first-time home buyer and you want to go and put the down payment on the house, you can withdraw without paying the fee from your Roth IRA. Now, the problem with that is whether you throw it in an IRA, 401k, let's say all the different retirement plans that are on the same page, and yeah, you can withdraw for these qualified expenses, one of which is the down payment on your first house. The problem I have with that is that your stock prices can go like this, and all of a sudden it's down. And this money that was supposed to be earmarked for a conservative purchase, a house, is all of a sudden gone. So I would either this is just what I would do. You could do what you want to do. Me personally, I just leave it in the bank. Find out how much I need by talking to mortgage brokers in terms of what kind of mortgages they offer. Some of them are 5% down. You may already have that with 25 grand. Okay, so you could start buying a house right now. But I'd save up a lot more money. Make sure you got a good walloping down payment. But I would just be throwing it into the bank account. Is what I would be doing. Maybe into a CD. Earn that 0.1% extra interest. I would not risk it in the stock market. But if you are going to invest it in a 401k or IRA where you can withdraw it without the penalty, boy, you're going to want to invest in some really conservative investments. And you're going to maybe eke out an extra percent if you go with a bond fund or low risk, high quality, high dividend paying. Maybe you get 3%, maybe you get 3.5%, and you're like, okay, well, whoop-de-doo, a freaking 2% over what I got in the savings account. So that's why I probably just use savings. And then after that, the next logical step would be to start saving up money to buy the business from your folks. What I would do before you even go down that route. I had a client not too long ago want to take over a mechanic shop from his uncle. And his uncle, and I said, well, do you even know if it makes money? He's like, well, I guess he makes. It's like, no. There's no guess. You got to find out if that company makes money. So you're going to want to see their tax returns of the company. You want to see the financial statements, audited financial statements. You want to look at the income statement. You want to look and tell, hey, does this company make money? Because that may won't solve your problem, but it'll really simplify the decision. If all of a sudden you look and your parents are losing money on this fucking thing, why the fuck would you want to buy a money losing operation? That's like paying somebody to punch you. That doesn't make any sense. So that is the first thing I do. Say, Mom, Dad, I'm interested in buying the property, but I want to look at the finances. I want to see how much money there is here before I even invest my time and efforts and energy going into accounting. Because if you find out that this is a money-losing operation or they make 25 grand a year, is that even worth, and you kind of want to become an engineer, but you thought it'd be wise to become an accountant because you want to take over this company. Find out if you want to even go down that route, man. Don't invest your time becoming an accountant if the only reason was to take over this company and manage it effectively. Because if you find out it's a money-losing operation, it just doesn't make that much money, then fuck it, go become an engineer. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope that gave you a little bit of guidance what to do with your extra money. Make damn sure. I'd really strongly recommend, though, because you're such a younger guy, go read Reconnaissance Man before you're all like, yeah, I want to buy this company and anchor myself here. Before you buy property, before you anchor yourself there, go read Reconnaissance Man. That's what I recommend. Not because it's going to make me more money, which it will, but it is very apropos to your situation right now. Anyway, best of luck to all of you. Tools.